Hi, everybody. This is part 2 of Birth of a Nation. Rodimup plays RimWorld. Just a recap from last time. I started with Tusk, somewhere down here in the middle of the map. I decided to settle up here. Shortly thereafter, Brio, Tusk's father, joined. And then in the interim, I had someone named Preston, who was a pretty useless architect, join me. He died. And then Shepard joined me. I've had some fights with wolves, and I've had a lot of other successes. Had some good raids, so on and so forth. So here we are, Birth of a Nation Part 2. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope this is either entertaining or educational for you guys. That is what I am aiming for. So my next little project here will be to get a wooden table and some chairs built. Now it looks like my best constructor is probably Brio, but Tusk is not that far behind, so I think I'm going to have Tusk do as much of the constructing as possible. It does look like I need some extra graves here. I have some dead bodies around. Strip these bodies, dig the graves. So Shepard's really incapable of most things. He's going to be my like hauling and cleaning man. He's more of a maid. He's incapable of almost everything, but I'll still find a use for someone who can run around chopping down the occasional tree or moving the occasional stack of something or other. So he's not entirely useless. Like, for instance, all this additional wood I'm getting, it will be really, really useful to build these tables with. And he's also going to be gathering some berries here. So pretty useful. So my plan is to try to get as much of the electronics research done as possible, as soon as possible. That's sort of my personal goal, and hopefully I accomplish that quickly. When we look at the factions, I plan on going to war with everyone and allying with the White Jay Caribou, the only other tribe. That is my goal. So eventually I'm going to turn on the two Outlander unions that are my neighbors. Because tribes and Outlander unions probably shouldn't get along. You know, this is sort of the concept of like colonists versus natives. And I guess in this instance I am one of the natives and I will be fighting the colonists. So I'm attempting to allow. Oh, that's nice. I'm attempting to allow Tusk to do as much of the research as she can uninterrupted. So to try to keep all the pressure off of her so that she can just be researching, which means food and supplies are supplied by my colonists, other colonists, and she does nothing but plow through some initial research as quick as she can. The reason being, I think it will be very important to get some long-term sort of solutions, you know, like agriculture and that sort of thing going here. Because if I wait too long, my colony will expand and I won't have the infrastructure to really support my expanded population. And that was somewhat true with every ancient city. They would expand past their borders and require more food, and that would bring in more growth. But it was sort of a vicious cycle of growing pains. And my little tribe, I don't think is any different. I think I'll have some growing pains here, so I'm trying to address it by, you know, doing the research that will allow me to grow prosperously. So I'm a tribe, which means I don't get a lot of research by default, and research is tough. Now, fortunately for me, Tusk is really smart, so she learns fast, and is already a pretty good researcher because she's done quite a bit of it. And if we look at her stats here, you can see her research speed is up there because she is she's pretty good at the research. And we look at the research bench. The factor speed is still 100% because of my efforts to keep the area clean, well illuminated. It keeps her mentally sound, keeping her warm and fed so that she can just get as much of the research done as possible. She is being chased by pirates. I'm going to offer her safety. I don't like the pirates. So, you're a little neurotic, but you're a fast walker, and psychic events don't affect you. What I have coming in is some big meleeer guys. You're getting up there. You're getting old, but you're about the right age for Brio, if that was to ever blossom. Well, let's see. I do have some hostiles coming in. Just want to start getting ready. I'm going to actually equip the grenades on Brio. He's not much of a shooter, as you can see, so hopefully he can make use of the grenades. I'm going to get Shepard up and awake and in position. I'm going to get Brio over there as well. Get ready for this little conflict. Now, what I'll be aiming for is to knock out their shields as fast as I can. So I'm going to get her down there, and I don't think there's really a weapon I want to equip her. There's nothing like important ranged wise, so I'm just going to get her the closest melee weapon so she can get back into the fight. I don't think Brio meant to do that, but that's pretty useful. It blew up on the guy with the club. I'm going to have them... Alright, here we go. So she went down. Which is fine. I'm alright with that. And they cleared him out. She was decent, but not quite what I was looking for as a future colonist. I am going to be picky. It is my tribe. So I'm going to make sure I'm only getting the people I really, really want. So it looks like this rat here is hanging around eating my food, possibly. So I'm going to make sure that that doesn't continue. Alright, so Shepard's on a sad wander. He probably saw a little bit too much action. Tusk is in a good mood, so I'm going to have her do a lot of this burying stuff. I mean, part of the problem with Shepard, I'm guessing, is a colonist died. Oh, not even. He doesn't seem to care about that. But regardless, I will work to bury the remainder of the dead. and I'll never hesitate to fight pirates. Always happy to fight the pirates. Alright, I'm gonna get Tusk back to work. Brio, what are you working on? You are making snowmen and going to sleep. Well, then. Guess I'll just have you finish that. Shepard should be coming back to us soon here. It's getting cold inside. I'm losing all that campfire heat, so I'm gonna cut down a tree to get that campfire going again. Yeah, I'm tempted to use this personal shield. It's not marked as dead people stuff, so I'm gonna equip this plasteel spear and wear the shield, try to haul stuff back into my stockpile. Now I'm really building really quickly here. I mean, I'm not even that far into the this playthrough, and I have quite a lot of dead people stuff. So I really want to tailor a bench sooner or later to address this excess, but I don't have the ability to tailor complex clothing yet. I will get that eventually, but I have somewhat of a long list of other things that with much higher importance than that, so that is on the list. Alright, so Shepard is starving now. Direly needs rest, so hopefully he snaps out of it. I don't want to bother having to rest him. It's kind of a lot of work. Potentially causes injuries. So I'll just have him wander around like that until he's done. There is plenty of food to be had. I almost have 20 stacks of meals, so he shouldn't have a hard time finding food once he snaps out of it, which is right now. Perfect. So his mood is going to be improving pretty soon here, which is good. Brio's still taking care of the fort. Butchering creatures and keeping things repaired and tidy so that Tusk can plow ahead on this research. Just trying to see where the marsh ends, begins. Interesting. Alright, got an escape pod and cargo pods. Maybe they're connected. Alpaca wolf from the cargo pods, and the escape pod has Holder. Careful shooter, fast walker. I really like them. Julio Holder. Yeah, let's go get them. Let's make sure they survive. So I believe Shepard is the fastest moving. So I'm going to send him, even though he's not in a particularly good mood. Actually, with that in mind, I will send Tusk, because I'm worried about him having a extreme break here on us. Try to allow him to ease back into our community as carefully as possible. Making sure he has everything he needs. But yeah, I mean that's a pretty good. I mean that's one of the types of civilians I'll try to keep alive. Now I'm gonna keep alive my father because that matters to Tusk. I don't care much for Shepherd. I mean, he is useless, but I'll try to keep him alive if I can. But, oh, no, I don't use medicine. Medicine is not necessary here. There's no infections. But yeah, colonists that don't have any negative, incapable of, and no bad traits are to me, particularly useful. And Julio Holder is definitely one of them. A lot of passions, and no negative traits is really a great thing to find, for sure. So I'll get him a bed as soon as I can. Alright, so they're all patched up. Whether they choose to join us or not, I could have forced it, of course, as I've mentioned before. I could say capture rather than rescue, but I'd rather have him make the choice, and he has made the choice to join me, so that's great. Now they came with a personal shield, a good personal shield, but they're a good shooter. So I think what I'll do is I'll have Shepherd give up his bow to Julio. Shepherd is not a particularly good shooter, and Shepherd will just be sort of my errand boy. So I'm going to actually tell Shepherd to go equip the personal shield, drop the bow, and go equip the best melee weapon I can find, which is maybe this shoddy club. Yeah, there's not a lot of good melee weapons. I'll have to work on that. And now Holder can equip the bow, and let's adjust Holder's preferences. So Holder is about the same as Shepherd in terms of wardening, so I'll leave that to Shepherd, because Shepherd doesn't really do very much else. But Holder's the best with animals, pretty good cook, a good hunter, I'll improve that. Good grower, allow him to construct, and has a passion for crafting, but not nearly as good as Tusk, so I'll leave that to Tusk. So one of the things I'm looking for here is compressed machinery, which can be hard to find, because I'm going to want to build things once I have the research for electricity. Compressed machinery will be important. So despite it not being close to the base, I'm going to send my guys out for it early so that I have the components when I want the components. I think that will be pretty important. Holder is not doing so well, and my base just got cold. Time for another campfire. I'm guessing Tusk will consistently be the most level-headed, so I'm pretty much going to have her be the one to do most of the errands, so to speak. Even though she's too smart, which makes her a little unhinged, she's probably more reliable than the rest of them. Alright, so she's back to researching. I'm going to micromanage Shepherd a little bit to make sure he's being productive. Brio's been getting stuff done on his own. pretty efficiently, so I'm not too worried about Boreal. So just south of me, as you can see here, there's 2 spots that I can break into. That might be ancient dangers, but I kind of doubt it. They're a little small, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, I didn't realize I had another body out there. But yeah, now that I remember, I chased that person down and killed them on purpose. I should have remembered that. I'm nearing on the completion of electricity. Not nearing, but about 2/3, 3/4, thereabouts. Another escape pod, which is someone I don't really want, to be honest. So what I'll do is I'll send Shepherd out to Stripper. Where'd she go? Yeah, that's even too far to bother stripping. I'm just gonna leave her out there. Maybe feed some local wildlife. Take Shepherd off of hunting. I still have plenty of meat, so I'm not worried about that right now. Plus I have, well, you know what? Maybe I will hunt. Just because these muffalo are kind of eating my food. I have no need for that. There we go. Problem solved. Now I have a lot of stuff, but not a whole lot of convoys to come trade with. But once I get electricity up and running, I can set myself up with trade beacons and things like that. Or when I research complex clothing, I can just disassemble a lot of the clothing that is junk. You know, only save the best stuff to sell. So I got a psychic drone bothering the females. Well, I believe I'm 3/4 male in this little tribe, so I'm not that worried about that. Tusk can handle it. Making sure no one's wow, you're a little old to be hitting on Tusk. Jeez. Making sure no one's at risk of any issues. I'm gonna hunt the local wildlife to make sure they're not eating my food. One of the reasons I actually leave it out is to attract the local wildlife. Because, you know, I could put it in storage, but keeping it out there actually makes it easier to hunt. Because a lot of the food does come to you. Now, if your map is full of polar bears and wolves, maybe that's not a good idea. But when I just have elk and ram and boar, yeah, that's not much of an issue. Alright, so I'm getting pretty close to the electricity research that I need done, which is exciting. I'll be able to get some more stuff done once I've got that researched. I'm going to want to get complex clothing and stone cutting researched as well. There's not much I can do with electricity alone, or not much I plan on doing. Just electricity alone affords me maybe a wind turbine, and not even batteries. I mean, without batteries, you can't really rely on electricity as a constant source of power, because solar and wind can both die down. You know, you can have a nighttime with no wind, and then all of a sudden no power. So if I'm trying to grow without batteries, all it takes is a nighttime with no wind, and all of a sudden all my crops die. Unless I heat them via campfires, which is a little expensive and ridiculous ridiculous way to heat something. So, it looks like my stockpile needs to be expanded once again, because I am doing a heck of a lot of resource collection here. I'm not going to worry about these slate chunks and whatnot. Soon I will be processing them. So now this looks to be my first sort of major raid. I think it is time for some sandbags. Just as a safety precaution, I don't want to lose anyone. And then I'm going to change his priority to construct, because I don't really need him to be cleaning when I have a possible war on my hands, you know, and I'm outnumbered and half my people have melee weapons. And they're on their way. So as you can see from a bird's eye view, it's pretty clear that I'm attracting... Oh, wow, they're coming that way? Alright, I'll stack up here. Alright. So if they break a stove or two, that's fine. I have resources to spare. I just don't want to engage all of them at once. So I have one down already. Soon to be a second, I think, when he comes around the corner there. Yeah, he's getting shredded. And is down. I'll move in a little bit. I'm feeling confident. This fight is going my way. My defenders are not missing, and now I've downed enough of them that they're fleeing. Now this is a... Oh, wow, she is the female chief of the White Jay Caribou. Yeah, she is Umbra. She must be. Huh. So, I do plan on rescuing her, if I can. I'm going to send the rest of my guys out. And I plan on capturing her. So, I don't really have a place to store her. So I'm going to turn the whole place into a prison for now. And risk sleeping outside. Who is my best doctor? My best doctor is Holder. That makes sense. Holder, I want you to make sure she heals up quick. Trump's trumpet seems to have made it out. Gotta keep my eyes on that. they're getting a little close. There we go. So, release this prisoner. Because the white Jake Caribou is the people I want on my side. So it's unfortunate to keep my people out in the cold like that, but that's just what I'll need to do for now. So my warden is Shepherd. Gonna release her. She doesn't have far to go. I'm near the end of the edge of the map. And now I can assign these beds back to their rightful owners. And hopefully patch up some of my relations with the White Jay. There we go. A little bit better relations. Alright, well those sandbags, those sandbags didn't really offer me very much this raid, but possibly in a future raid it will help. Tusk is just about done with that research. What are you... Oh, compact machinery? Yeah. Don't let me stop you. So they did unfortunately destroy my butcher table and my fueled stove, but they're pretty replaceable. I'm not that worried about that. I'm already getting them rebuilt. No issue there. Queue up the old tasks. How good is Brio cooking? Yeah. Let's give him the order to make fine food. That should help the mood. But then I'll have to harvest some berries, which I might have to go a little further for. So I'm about to get myself some electricity, which is great. I can taste it. Boom, that's a bit of a game changer there. And I will next work on stone cutting. I'm running pretty low on meals, but I have plenty of meat, so I have to make sure that this gets refueled. Next person that wakes up needs to refuel it. Alright, Holder. You ate the last meal too. So let's refuel that stove. Good. Shepherd's going to be out collecting berries for the fine meals that I'd like to cook. Or trying to collect berries, I should say. My colonists are starting to eat raw food, which is really not good. Shepherd's failing at life over here. So I think what I'll do is I will queue up a cook for simple meals of at least 10, and then start making fine meals afterwards. And that way Brio will supply some basic foods, but hopefully we'll get higher quality foods when they are available. And I'll switch this actually, so that the fine foods come first. Tusk is blowing past the research for stone cutting, because that's a That's an easy technology for Tusk to research. She is a pretty savvy researcher at this point too, which is great. And another escape pod. Pessimist fact. I'll leave you there. You're gonna be more effort than you're worth. Okay. So a psychic wave made a bunch of boars hostile with me. All the while, some of my people wanted to hide in their rooms. So I'm gonna have to do this a little carefully. Alright, one's down. Plenty more to come. Another's down. Looks like that might be it. Only two, that's a pretty easy little event there. Could be worse. We're coming up on the first winter, so I have to be careful about that for sure. Oh no, there's some more manhunters out there. I don't want to risk Tusk getting too messed up, so I'm going to run her inside. Lock the door. Then they should, yeah, there they go. They stopped bashing. So now there's 3 of them. Yeah, I'll manage them. I'll handle them once daybreak happens here. Figured now that everyone's patched up, might as well send them back out. There's a boar on my 6 over there. Oh, it looks like the event's done. Just in case, I'm gonna fire it on it anyway. She does not have a good shot, does she? Oh, she does. She's just having some bad luck or something. Alright, that's about enough of that. Hopefully Holder snaps out of it soon. It's been kind of a while. And I really want Brio to start cooking here too. So we're eating raw food, which is pretty nasty. There's another escape pod, my god. Of another useless human who will be left out in the cold. Now I'm going to get Shepherd up, change his gear around a little bit. I want some more ranged, less melee. And I'll clear all the forced stuff. So we finally have a pirate merchant coming, which could be useful. But alas, Holder goes berserk. As long as I steer clear of him. He was just finished with his sad wander or whatever he was doing, and now he seems to be berserk with a Timberwolf on the loose for him. That's unfortunate. I'll queue up some trees to get cut down on the other side, away from him. So the person who's best at training is Shepherd. Shepherd's my trader. Oh, they took care of that Timberwolf pretty quick. Alright, so what do I have to trade here? I have a bunch of shoddy stuff to sell, I suppose. And the gear of dead people. Quite a lot of junk, if you ask me. A good personal shield. I'm going to sell it anyway. And now I can look to what to buy, which will be not very much. It does not look like. Assault rifle is tempting, but it's awful condition. Yeah, maybe nothing. 0 it is. Alright, so I'm going to get Holder up off the ground so he sleeps in a proper bed. Sleeping outside in the cold's not going to be any good for his mood. I'll get Tusk to cut down a tree nearby to get that fire going. Get it nice and warm. Maybe temporarily prioritize her for cleaning, because it's pretty nasty in this little barracks. I know she's disturbing everyone's sleep, but I don't know, it was pretty dirty, bloody. Some more cargo pods of kibble. Interesting. Seeing that I do not have any animals or pets. Now that I've sold so much stuff, I can actually make my my stockpile zone a little smaller, because I've shrunk my inventory considerably, selling off all the junk. I'm attracting a lot of creatures to my area, but they seem to be going after my meals, but all I guess that will serve to do is level up Brio's ability to cook, so maybe I'm okay with that. Holder's no longer psychotic or risking psychoses, which is great. You can start contributing again. And I finished stone cutting, so now I'm going to do some complex clothing and make a stonecutter table. Now if I can find that fertile area, which is right around, oh, it's right here. I think I will utilize that as a growing zone. So I'll queue up a grow light there. Queue up a hypothetical grow zone. Once I have some stones cut, I'll start surrounding it with stone. That's nice and fueled. Everyone's happy, everyone's warm. There's some time left on the torch and the fireplace. Things are going better and better every day. Quite a lot of dirt, though. It's a little concerning. Gotta clean those boots when you come in. Eating raw is not ideal, so hopefully some cooking gets done. But looks like Holder's putting his mind to it. While Shepard cuts down trees to create the stonecutter's table. I feel like no matter how many meals I make, they just very rapidly disappear. Who's on major break, Shepard? What do you need? You need some undisturbed sleep, but I can't really help with that right now. Unfortunately, it's just some burden you'll have to bear. Alright, I do have a small surplus of food now, which is good. That's the good news. Shepard had a break, but is only on a food binge, which honestly could be worse. And I'm going to start queuing up some granite blocks here. And actually prioritize Holder to make some. Whoever Holder is, where are you, Holder? You were hauling. Alpha Beaver's spawning pretty close to my base here. That's not cool. Just queue up a hunt for him. And now that I have granite blocks, I can start blocking out where I plan on building a sort of indoor greenhouse of sorts. Non-hydroponic greenhouse. Plop it down right there. Change the layout just a little bit for some extra heat. Think about some power generation. Let's see. Like that. Looking good. Looking very good. Alright, so Brio is constructing, but I'd rather have him cooking. So I'll change those priorities around a little bit. Shepard's making a whole lot of wood, so that's really all he can do. That and haul. He's pretty simple-minded. Tusk is finishing up that research, but at a much slower speed, I suspect, because it's dirty here. So let's try to clean it first. Clean it of all this blood and filth. There we go. Brio's on a break risk, but I'd say he's fine. So I'm going to ignore it. I don't think he's going to get any worse. Now, I'm going to cancel as much of this plant cutting as possible. I accidentally canceled some walls here. And a random wanderer joins me. Let's see, are you any useful? No, you are not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm a little tired of receiving some useless people. I'm going to send him out on his merry way once he's done. I do not need a slothful proselyphobe. That's an incident I wish gave you an option. I wish it didn't force people on you constantly. It's not helpful, or at least I don't find it helpful. So let's strip her first, and then bury her, and then strip you, much to your chagrin. And send you out on the world to leave. Who are you? There you are. Create a caravan to leave the area. Goodbye. It's nice knowing you, but I don't find you particularly useful. Alright, so the fire in here has worn out. Time to make a new one. Try to make a new one. There we go. Alright. So Badger's almost on his way out. There we go. I'll have him attack. He's never going to make it. But I'll queue it up anyway. So I want to clear this area for construction, so I'm queuing that up. And Holder should be done butchering soon, once I get rid of all these alpha beavers. And I'm almost done with them all. But never forget to refuel the stove. I cannot wait until I have an electrical stove. This fueled stove is really annoying. It takes a long time. Looks like I'm getting these windmills going. Soon I'll have to get the batteries for them. Time to change the layout a little bit more. Alright, complex clothing is done. I'll try my hand at some batteries soon. Not a very good thing to fail on. The larger ticket items are kind of a pain when you fail, but so be it. I failed. I'll just roll with it. I've got about 5 minutes left of this video before the part 2 is come to an end. So, of course, he died somewhere on the convoy. I'm not even sure where, but I sent him out to do it. Didn't care much for him, so got rid of him. I know it's a pretty evil thing to do, but he joined without asking, so that's what happens. Alright, Shepard is clearing out the rest of this area. And I'm going to haul all this stuff away. with his help. Hopefully Brio will be able to construct this without failing. That'll be ideal. There we go. Got some power going. Wire this building up real nice. Got some granite blocks. And another merchant coming my way. Things are looking up. Try to finish this other wind turbine. Looking good. Better and better. Great. Just a second wind turbine up and running. Got some people trying to get a relationship with Tusk here. It's awkward. I don't think anyone's quite the right age. I guess Shepard's the closest, but the other two are a little too old, in my opinion. My fair opinion. So, yeah, I keep forgetting. So Holder or Shepard are good at this. I'm going to send Shepard out. He's doing a little bit better mentally. Oh, that's not cool. Let's extinguish that. And avoid future complications. I'm just going to have you... Oh, you can't build, that's right. Alright, what can we do for you, sirs? Sell off the dead people stuff. Keep the stuff that is worth something to us. And you don't really have anything else that we're looking for. So call that good. Alright, I'm going to need another campfire here. So whoever wakes up first gets to build it. Rise and shine. There we go. Brio, it is you. Now there is a little bit of wood and stuff out there that needs to get hauled back to the stockpile, but I'm not going to worry about that until it's critical. And hopefully I'll be able to get this area nice and built here soon. It's slow, but granite is hardy and worth it in the end. Getting some refueled going. Still have a surplus of granite blocks, which is great. So I'm getting constructing. Holder's kind of having a mental issue here. I'm going to force him to drop the toque because he's not doing so hot wearing dead people stuff. And I was a little too late to the game. He has a mental break, which is unfortunate. Alright, trade caravan left. Shepard's almost done harvesting the area. He's getting close there. Getting pretty close. Hopefully Brio's done doing his little search for God there. Can't afford too many disruptions. I've been going slow enough as it is already. I think after this block I'm going to halt the crafting of future blocks. I'm just about done with that. For now, at least. Brio's the only one outside of base. think this is a good place to stop for now. I hope you enjoyed part 2. Look for part 3. Any additional comments, suggestions, requests, or really anything else, feel free to leave a comment. And this was part 2 of Birth of a Nation. Thank you for watching.